What's up, YouTube? It's your boy, Infinite Gains, and we're back again with another GME and AMC update video. So lock in. So yeah, same idea from last vid. We want to return to this $30 zone right here, show some kind of strength here, and then move up to the May high. So yeah, we still haven't reached our target yet, but that's 30 bucks next target. And you want to show some kind of strength at that area. So we did we found support at our 100 daily SMA. You were able to break your 50 SMA, so you want to stay above the daily 50. And yeah, so it should look something like that. And you should see a move that looks like this. You come up to this $30 point and then you enter this zone. Now, when you break this zone, it should be a pretty violent move to the upside. You can tell when GME decides to move, it just moves like it doesn't play around. You can see that when it has these setups, it goes, maybe creates a small flagging pattern, but then tops out immediately. And where does the flagging pattern really occur? Well, it occurs at your previous resistance zones. Right here. Even in 2021, if we zoom out to the weekly, you can see, well, where did it had the same pattern, right? It comes up, it flags. Actually, can't see the flag. Maybe we have to go down to the 4-hour, but it came up in the flags right here. And it actually flagged right under resistance, but it flagged right under our previous resistance here. In GME's price history. So once you break your resistance, the move should be pretty violent to the upside, and it really does make sense because there's nothing there. Like when GME made this move, there's nothing here. Like there's no previous price history in this zone. So if we break May and 2020 and 2021 high, GME just enters price discovery, and there's nothing up here, right? So the move should be pretty violent until we hit like our final resistance that is able to smack it back down. So the move should be pretty violent. So that's your idea, is to break 30 bucks, return to May high, and then have a very, very violent move to the upside. If we look at GME's daily charts, it's our MACD is curling up. It's approaching the midline here. Your stochastic RSI is in the upper range. Your stochastic heat map is finding support, and you bounced off your support bands here and your 100 SMA. If we go to the weekly, we can see that our weekly MACD on the histogram is curling up. As you can see, it's turning light red right here. So we are curling back to the upside. And we can see that we do have a lot more room if we want to go on a run here. Our stochastic RSI has bottomed here and is curling back to the upside. Weekly stock RSI finding support, and we are in the oversold zone. Now here's a real kicker here. If we go up to the monthly, man, look at this monthly MACD. So this is great. Your stochastic RSI is in the upper range. Stochastic RSI is in the upper range on our monthly chart. And as you can see, this entire GME run in 2021, where was our stochastic RSI at the beginning of the run? In the upper range. So our MACD has a lot more room to go. We're curling up on the monthly. We haven't even made it to the midline yet on the MACD, and we have a lot of room to the upside on our monthly chart. So our daily, weekly, monthly MACD and stock RSI are all in confluence, and they all look great. So that's our GME idea, is you should really go to $30, break May high, boom, explosive move to the upside. AMC idea. We are currently we're still in the pennant, but this is great. We did break the 200 daily SMA we broke above. We still have to break above our daily 50, but if you zoom in here, your daily 100 SMA is at 464 and your daily 200 is at 478. That's a 10-cent difference, and that's a very bullish cross up if the 100 SMA can cross above the 200. And you can see on the daily we did end up breaking our support band there, so that's great. And you look at AMC's daily stock RSI. It is coiling up here like this. You can see it's coiling up and it wants to break to the upside on our stochastic. Our daily MACD is curling up on our histogram here. So you have a reverse head and shoulder pattern with a pennant structure on the right shoulder. So this is a very beautiful setup. And so your kind of next idea here is to break this 3-year long freaking downtrend here. And you really should be able to melt through this zone like butter. It was just a complete waterfall. So you should be able to shoot up out of this structure, and you want to break this downtrend line here, and then you can move up to these certain price targets. So these price targets, okay, well, you have gap fill here at around $50. This light pink line is your weekly 200 SMA at around $70. And then we have horizontal resistance that the 2021 initial peak found here, but also resistance from all the way back in AMC's price history. And then maybe you could discover a new final price target, maybe up here at like 220, 240. So that at that point, I'm completely out. Like I don't care. I'm way gone by then. But that's just price targets on AMC. Now let's go up to the weekly AMC MACD chart. And this is we don't need that anymore. So we look at our MACD and it's approaching the midline on our weekly. Our stochastic RSI is in the upper range, which is great. But look at that weekly MACD. That's freaking beautiful. And it almost is kind of similar to the pattern that we had in 2021. So we haven't even broken the midline yet. We haven't even broken the midline yet on AMC. If we're coiling up, we have this. It looks good to me. But here's again, again we go up to our monthly chart. Look at the monthly MACD. That is insane. We have so much room to the upside, and our histogram flipped green on our monthly chart. Your stochastic RSI has bottomed twice on our monthly chart. So this is it's literally just beautiful at this point, and we're fine, and everything looks great. So at this point, I'm just having patience, and I'm waiting for our game plan to kind of play out. I'm not really worried about the micro day to day, so I'm kind of just zooming out and having this kind of just macro game plan that I want to build, and just kind of just sit back and have patience. If we look at SPY, our idea that I posted in my previous video and the Discord is playing out. This was our short zone right here in this area. So our next zone is this daily 100 SMA at 536 that you want to see broken. Once this 100 is broken, you can head down to your daily 200 at 513. Now this daily 200 is going to be a very, very pivotal zone, and you're going to want to pay attention to it, because if this breaks, then it's, for me, that's probably game on at that point for a bear market, and you can head to these very bearish price targets here. So pay attention to the daily 100, 200. I'll make an update video if we come back to the 200s, because that's going to be a very important zone. Bitcoin, same idea. We from my previous videos, I mean, seriously, I was bearish on it from up here because you were seeing some very, very bearish things. This just kind of screamed like overextended, and your kind of stochastic was in agreement with that, and your RSI was in agreement on larger time frames. But you got a rejection multiple times from your daily 200 SMA. your 150 and 20 cross down. And this was an extremely bearish cross when the 100 came down below the 200. So for me, if you lose this midline and you make a new low, for me, it becomes way more likely that you will return to this $30,000 level. And if we shoot up, I want you to see this. If we go up to the monthly Bitcoin chart, right, and we zoom out, this doesn't even look that crazy. One, it doesn't look that crazy, does it? I mean, just kind of wrap your head around it that if we come back down and then come back up like this, it really wouldn't even look that weird. But look at your monthly MACD curling down. That's not good. And your stochastic RSI is at the midline. So we have plenty of room to come down and bottom out. Now the problem is, hey, maybe we could do something like we did here, and we've already bottomed out right here because right at this low, the stochastic kind of reached the midline, maybe slightly below. But it's still you're still gonna have room to the downside anyway. So I would check for this. Your next support is gonna be at these monthly support bands at 47K and then 44K. If 44K is broken and we stay below, I mean, you're already halfway there, and I think that you're just gonna retest the 30,000s. In your MACD and monthly MACD and stochastic RSI support the idea as well. So I'd pay attention to that on Bitcoin too. But yeah, that's our GME and AMC ideas. Same idea from last vid. So just sit back and have patience, and hopefully I'll see you guys on the moon. So peace out.